Okay, so I think I'm recording. I'm super excited to do this video and share with you guys some awesome information on investing, finance, what we're doing during these crazy turbulent times. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. I do want to start this video out just by saying I'm not a financial advisor. Most of you guys that know me, you know this. I'm just telling you what we are doing and what I believe after tons and tons of research and education and just pouring into myself and learning all of these different things, and also what has proven true in the past. I want to pass that on to you guys so that you can be prepared for what's coming down the pipeline, because y'all know right now it is some turbulent times. There's some crazy stuff going on in the world right now, and I want everybody to be as prepared as they possibly can be. However, I'm not a financial advisor, so I am not giving you financial advice. I'm just telling you as a friend, this is what I'm doing. This is what I would recommend if I were somebody else in somebody else's shoes. Also, I'm not a professional YouTuber, as you can see. Sorry about the lighting. I'm actually having to upload this video via Zoom because our internet is really, really bad where we live. And so hopefully it's actually going to turn out okay. I don't know if it will or not. We'll see. But also my phone is full. So anyways, day in the life, that's just how life goes. But I wanted to share this stuff with you guys, and I've just had a lot of people messaging me asking me, Becky, what are you doing? What are you investing in? How are you making extra money? What was that thing you posted about the other day where you like literally tripled your money in one day? So I'm going to share all that stuff with you guys. I'm going to share all the goods. I'm going to tell you what we're doing in terms of, earning some passive income, in terms of investing, just preparing for the future, and just being overall in an area where you feel confident and comfortable in the future whenever things unfold. Because let me tell you, it's about to get real. There's about to be some kind of crazy stuff going on. So I did want to share that with you guys. I just don't have time to respond back in detail to every single person that messages me. So I thought this would be the perfect way to do that. So I will be also linking in the description a ton of different links for different things. I will try to share down there some different research that I've done. I'll share the platforms that we use, the investing tools that we use. If I mention any books or anything like that during this video, I will try to link all that stuff in the description. So make sure you check down there and just see what all is down there, because by the end of this video, who knows what I'm going to be talking about. So the number one thing that I've been investing in lately, which is probably a big reason why a lot of people have actually been messaging me like, Becky, are you okay? Like, I hope you're doing well. I feel like you guys have kind of noticed that I've been a little bit more distant on social media. And a big part of that is because I've really been pouring into and investing in my health. So a lot of y'all don't even know this, but I've actually had some health issues over the last couple of years that I've really been struggling with. And I was in another, an MLM business back in the day. We won't even get into that. But it really wore me out. It took a toll on my health. I was constantly on my phone 24/7, and it really, really took a toll on everything health-wise with me. So I've had a lot of neck pain. My sleep patterns just kind of got out of whack and all kinds of crazy stuff. And I just didn't want to get in that place again where I was just on my phone 24/7. So I've been taking time to just do things for me. So I like to get outside and ground myself. I literally like to just go outside, walk around barefoot, for hours at a time, take care of my plants, walk around the trail with my kids. Yesterday I was, just playing out there on the kayak and stuff with my son Trent. And, just taking care of my health, trying to put good food in my body, making myself smoothies and things like that, good nutrition. And just making sure that I'm taking care of myself, because your health is the most important thing that you have. If you don't have your health, then what else do you have? And when things start happening in the future, if you're not healthy and you can't even live your life the way that you want to live your life, then what's the point of anything else? Why does any of the financial stuff matter if you don't even have your own health? So that's one of the reasons that I've been a little bit MIA. So I know a lot of you guys have been asking me. Thank you guys, by the way, for checking on me. I have been doing much better. Why is this asking me if I'm playing music? No, I'm not playing music. I don't know why it's asking me that. Super weird. But anyways, so hopefully I'm not singing to y'all. I don't know. Anyway, so your health is very, very important. And so, making sure that you're just eating the right foods and that you're, getting out and exercising, you're grounding yourself, you're protected from EMFs. That's another huge thing. You guys, I literally have EMF protectors all over my house. this kind of stuff is the stuff that nobody really talks about and nobody really wants to pay attention to. Everybody just thinks about like money. And I think at the end of the day, that's how I ended up getting in the situation with my health that I did, was because I was honestly just so focused about money, 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 that my health went on the back burner. And that's really sad when people get in a place like that. And I was just in a toxic environment that kind of taught us that. So anyways, I'm out of that environment, and I am just really trying to take care of my health. So I will also link some different things about some books that I have purchased that are really good for learning about how to take care of your health and stuff. You guys can tell I'm a big reader. You can actually only see one of my bookshelves. There's two big bookshelves here. And then I have another big bookshelf out in my landing. I love to just read and learn and just invest in my education, which is the second thing. So as far as your education goes, you guys, whatever you're investing in, like I said in the beginning of this video, I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm educated. I have read books upon books upon books. I've watched YouTube videos. I've listened to tons of different people with tons of different perspectives. I'm not single-sided. I'm not just over here watching like one group of people and ignoring everybody else. I literally listen to all of this stuff, and then I'll form my own opinions around that, what's going to be best for my family. So if you are not educating yourself on what you want to do with your finances and how you're going to take care of your family and your estate planning and all of the things that everybody should be doing, that's a really, really important thing for you to do. So I will link any books or anything like that too down below. But I have a bunch of books that I've even been reading on like literally the coolest stuff. Like you can learn so much about where you live and like the different types of things that are edible. Like if things, if crap hits the fan, like I'm that type of person. I'm kind of a little bit of a prepper. So I like to know that if crap hits the fan, like what can I literally go out in the woods and eat, and what's going to kill me if I put it in my mouth? You know what I'm saying? Like you kind of got to just know little things like that. What kind of things are going to be beneficial and, in the case that you can't get into the hospital and you need some kind of like a medicine, right? Like, let thy food be thy medicine and thy medicine be thy food. Nowhere in the Bible does it tell us that we should take a bunch of drugs to basically counter the symptoms of the illness that we have. It tells us that food is a healer, right? Like God gave us food and herbs and plants and things that will literally heal our body if we use them. And it's super important for you to know that kind of stuff. So I do have some pretty cool books on that stuff too that I'll link below that you might just want to check out. You can literally just get them on Amazon or wherever. I'm sure you could probably get them at your local bookstore. But they're really cool, and they'll kind of teach you a lot of stuff about how you can, protect your health. You can have the skills that you need for in case if you can't get into the hospital, that you're not dependent on that and relying on that. So those are two really big things. And those are the first two things that I mentioned, because everything else comes after that. So I know a lot of y'all are here for the money. You're like, Becky, like, what is all this crap? Like, I literally want to know about crypto, or I want to know about precious metals, or I want to know about, the free stocks that you said I could get, or whatever you guys saw on my page. But if you don't have your health and you're not educated, there's no point in me making this video. So I had to start it out with that because, like I said, I don't want you guys to just take my word for it. If there's something that you disagree with, go research it. Go listen to people that say the opposite of what I say. That's fine. But you need to be educated before you make any kind of a decision like what I'm about to share with you guys. So now let's get into what we are doing financially, because I know that's what most of you guys are here for. You just want to know, all about the money and what we're doing and how we're making money, how we're bringing in passive income, how we're, doubling and tripling our money and all that good stuff. Things are very turbulent right now, if you guys have not noticed. Since the last election, there's been tons of crazy stuff going on in the world. People have fallen off their rocker. People have literally gone crazy. And you never know what's going to happen with this economy. Like, things have just been so weird. It's like, I literally don't even feel like we've ever had a time like this in history. And like, probably the worst time of our lifetime that we've seen was back in 2008 and 2009. And honestly, like, the stock market isn't showing a lot of this stuff yet. Like, it's still showing that 2008 and 2009 was worse, but I don't know, y'all. Like, I think right now we are in a crazy time where anything can happen. So my biggest conviction is that you should be fully diversified in multiple different areas. If you are somebody that is hardcore real estate, You just saw how much you can be impacted in the real estate business. You just saw how people are not having to pay their rent because the government wanted to step in and intervene on that, right? They wanted to tell people, hey, you don't have to pay your rent. Businesses have suffered. A lot of you guys I know that follow me like on Facebook or Telegram or wherever, I know a lot of you guys are very much like me where you don't want to take the vaccine either, right? You don't want to take it. But a lot of people's jobs, I saw on the news last night that they are literally firing people for not taking it. And if you're working for a private business, they can do that. If you're working for somewhere that, they want to just tell you like, hey, look, if you don't have it, then you can get fired. Guess what? So you need to make sure that you have other streams of income and that you're diversified to where you're not going to get burned and you're not going to get hurt if you get fired from your job because you decide you don't want to take the vaccine, or if you have something else happen, or even if it wasn't this kind of a situation, like y'all, you should always be prepared for anything that life throws at you. And I've been talking about this literally for years, like years and years, like probably 15 years. I've been talking about getting prepared, and people looked at me like I was a cyclops. They looked at me like, what is wrong with you? Like, why would you have 6 months worth of food in your pantry? And y'all, like, I don't even talk about 6 months worth of food, by the way. Like, I tell you guys 6 months at least, at minimum, because I know to a lot of people, that's a lot. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of, food prepping and stuff like that you have to do right off the bat. But you should have like years worth of sustainability that you can sustain yourself if something happens, right? Ultimately, at the end of the day, that's what you should have. So you can think I'm a cyclops or whatever. It doesn't really matter to me because I'm prepared for my family. And that's what concerns me, is that I want to make sure that they have everything they need. So you need to make sure that you're prepared for situations like this. That being said, of course, everybody should have some food storage and some water and some gardening seeds and all the things that we talk about. I actually have another video that I think I posted on my YouTube channel about that, so you can go check that one out too. But aside from all of the things that we already know that we need, and looking at the financial aspect of things, every single person watching this video, you should have some cash somewhere that's very accessible, not in the bank, not in a money market account, not in a checking account. That's not cash. That is money in the bank. What happens if the bank shuts down? Now, I have a lot of people that give me flack over this. I remember I actually posted something about it on Facebook a while back, and people were freaking out like, don't tell people to go get their money out of the banks. You're going to crash the banks, blah, blah, blah. Look, the banks are going to crash. And I may not have the most popular opinion, but the banks can only last for so long before something tanks out. The banks don't have your money in there. If every single person that deposited money into the bank went to the bank right now and asked them to get their money out, guess what would happen? They wouldn't have enough money to let people get their money out. That means that they don't have enough money in the bank. They're not actually holding your money. They're loaning it out to all these other places. They're printing money left and right. What's that going to do? It's going to cause inflation. It's going to cause the cost of everything that we buy on a regular basis to go up. It's why you see gas prices go up. You see toilet paper go up. You see the cost of food go up. Milk, back in the day, what could you buy it for, like 10 cents or something? The milk didn't change. It's not that there's some, new brand of milk that's so much better. It's because the value of the currency dropped. It went down. And so with all of this stuff that's going on with them printing money, to not have any kind of cash on hand is irresponsible. If you need to go somewhere, if something happens with the banks and the banks shut down, like a bank holiday, which has happened in the past, by the way, look it up. You might be in a predicament where you can't get your money out. You guys have probably seen, I'm willing to bet that most people that are watching this video have probably seen, a lot of times maybe you put money in the bank and then the bank doesn't let you get it out for whatever reason. Maybe you go to the bank and you're like, hey, I need to get out $5,000. And they're like, oh, sorry, you can't get that money out until next week. Well, what if you need that money right then? If you put 5,000 in, shouldn't you be able to take 5,000 out? So I always like to keep a little bit of cash somewhere in a safe place that is not in a bank, so that if we need it, we have it. I'm not telling you to go take your whole life savings out of the bank. I'm not telling you to go take, thousands or millions of dollars out of the bank, but I think it would be in every wise individual's best interest to take out at least 1 to 2 months worth of living expenses and have it just sitting in cash in case of an emergency. That said, and speaking of inflation, kind of going back to that, commodities is a huge thing, you guys. Like, if you would have just stocked up on toilet paper over the years, like, I'm not telling you to go to the store and buy a ton of toilet paper. Don't do that. That's what caused the toilet paper shortage, which was the weirdest thing. Was that not weird? Whenever like we had this big toilet paper shortage, I'm not telling you to go do that. But what I'm saying is when we had that toilet paper shortage, I was not even sweating it because I had a ton of toilet paper already because I just bought like one extra every time I went to the store for years. Like, I just would get extra toilet paper here and there. It's not like I was buying a whole bunch of it at once or anything like that. I just was buying a little extra as I went. And then when the time came that the toilet paper shortage was here, I wasn't really worried about it. I didn't need to go buy toilet paper from the store. And I was able to sit back at home and let other people go buy it because they needed it because I already had some, right? That said, do y'all know that when I was buying toilet paper along, all along that time frame, it was anywhere between $17 to $20 for, I think it's like a 96 roll of Charmin toilet paper, because if it's not Charmin, it's not toilet paper. Fight me on that. I'm just telling you guys, like, Charmin is the best. So I was paying 17 to 19 or $20 for a pack of that, right? Today, that same pack is $26 to $27. So what does that mean? Did they do something different with the toilet paper? No, it's just that the cost or the value of the dollar that you're using to buy it is going down because they keep printing more money. And that's called inflation. Most of you guys that are watching this already know that. We learned that in school, right? That was like one of the things that we semi-learned in school that they didn't really elaborate on, but they should have. So when the value of your dollar is constantly dropping, that means you can buy less and less with that same dollar over time. So what happens, in order for you to get ahead in life, you need to be able to grow your money. This is why people are broke and they don't even know it. They're literally saving money over the years. They're making 0.5% interest. They're saving, all this cash. They're trying to do what they can to get ahead, but they're not growing their money. And so I'm going to show you guys the ways that we are growing our money so that inflation is not eating away at every cent that we're trying to put into savings. Because eventually, if you put, let's say that you had $10,000 saved back in, we'll say 1988, that's when I was born. So if you had $10,000 saved in 1988, that would have gone a pretty long way, right? Like $100,000 back then was a lot of money. If you would have taken that money and buried it in a jar under the ground and you dug it up today, it would not buy nearly as much as it would have bought back in 1988. And the reason for that is because the value of the dollar declined. It dropped, it tanked out. So if you're saving money, you're losing. And that's one thing. I've got a book over here right now. It's called Fake. It's by Robert Kiyosaki, who also wrote the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Love Robert Kiyosaki. He's actually got a YouTube channel called the Rich Dad channel. And he always says, it's probably one of my favorite quotes that he has. He just says, savers or losers. Like literally, if you're just constantly just saving money, you're going to eventually lose it. That said, if you're not saving some of your money in case of an emergency, you have no insurance. Insurance costs you money. If you're saving cash or you're putting money into a savings account, chances are that inflation is eating away at that faster than you can grow it, right? However, that's the purpose of insurance, is it's there when you need it. If you have an emergency, you have a little bit of cash sitting around. If you have an emergency, maybe you have a checking account that's earning you at least a little bit of interest to where it's not, all getting eaten away, but you've got a little bit of money. Insurance costs you money, but it's there when you need it. So that's why I think that it's wise to have a little bit of cash, a little savings account. Make sure that you have something that's very liquid that you can get to right away. So those are the main initial stepping stones, I feel like. And we're going to get into the growing your money and showing you how to make a lot of money. But if you don't have your health and you don't have your education, you don't have a roadblock, you don't have the stepping stones that you need to be able to get to the point where you can have financial freedom, where you can grow your money. So those are the two main things. And then as far as commodities, if you're getting toilet paper, shampoo, conditioner, things like that, that you're literally keeping on the sidelines, then you're buying it before the inflation takes the value out of your dollar. So then that way, that's less that you're having to spend in the future with inflated prices on the same dollar that you got before it inflated. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense to you guys. I feel like I'm like live and I'm not, but anyways, I hope that makes sense. You guys drop in the comments and let me know how you're feeling about all this. If you guys have any questions, drop them down there also, and maybe I'll do another video and see if I can answer any questions that y'all have. But those are the main stepping stones that you need to get to the point where you can start investing for your future and growing your money. Crypto. Let's talk about crypto. So a lot of people have been asking me about the crypto space, and I will be 100% transparent with you guys. I thought about buying Bitcoin back in, I think it was like 2015 or 2014 or something like that. And I didn't do it because like so many people were, oh no, don't buy into that. Like, you know, you're going to lose your money. It's a scam, yada, yada. And I kept thinking about it, but I didn't do my due diligence and educate myself on exactly what it was. And I also did not, I didn't want to really get into something that was like super, super risky. I'm not a day trader. I'm not somebody that wants to, you know, go out and risk all the money that I've worked really hard for. I would prefer to have a little more diversity and have my assets in different asset classes so that if something happens to one, I'm going to have something else to fall back on. And I'm also not the type to go out and play the lottery. So if there's something that's brand spanking new, a lot of times it takes me a little bit longer to dip my toes into it because I don't want to get burned, right? Like, and that's, I feel like there's a lot of people that made a lot of money with Bitcoin, but they took a lot of risk. So you have to weigh what your risk to reward scenario is and how much money that you're willing to risk. What I'll tell you guys is I don't buy lottery tickets. The reason I don't buy lottery tickets is because I consider them a poor man's tax. I got that from Dave Ramsey. I remember one time I was listening to the Total Money Makeover or something, and he had said that, you know, buying lottery tickets is a poor man's tax. And that stuck with me so hard because I see so many people that are so broke that are constantly walking into gas stations, spending hundreds of dollars on lottery tickets. And I literally cannot wrap my mind around how people do that, how they're gambling their money away when they could put it in somewhere that's a little bit more safe where they could grow their money and they have a lot better chance of winning at life than they do throwing their money away on a lottery that they're probably not going to win. Yes, some people win, but the more risk you take, you're going to have a lot more risk involved and you're potentially not going to make anything back from it. So in the early days, I ended up not investing. Hindsight 2020, everybody wishes that they had bought Bitcoin when it was $200, right? Like every single person watching this is kicking themselves like, why did I not buy it when it was $200? This is what I believe. I believe that right now there are a lot of people that are looking at Bitcoin in particular, and they're saying, it's gotten too expensive. I'm too late. I'm too late to the game. I don't know what I'm going to do. Here's the thing. In 2030, you're going to be saying the same thing. Oh, I should have bought it back in 2021. Now I'm too late. It's too high. In 2040, you're going to be saying the same thing. So I decided to jump on the train and to put a little bit of money in there. And I'm going to tell you guys exactly how I did it. I'm going to tell you the ones that I purchased and the ones that I tend to stay away from. And I'm going to show you guys kind of how you can follow this stuff. And also how you can get some free crypto too, investing on certain platforms. So for me, I was very skeptical of crypto because I'm very much so a prepper. Like I like to have tangible items that I can literally hold in my hand. It's the reason why I don't do ebooks. I don't like ebooks. If I'm going to buy a book, I'm going to buy a paper book that I own, that I can hold in my hand, that I can read. I can pass it down for generations. I can read it a million times if I want to. I'm not being as hard on my eyes. And it's a physical book. If something happens to the internet, it's not going to disappear, right? However, with crypto, it is one of the biggest income earning potentials in the investment space that I've seen. So that is why I decided to jump on board with it. I think there's a lot of different people that have different viewpoints. And I know you guys hear me talk about metals a lot, which I'm going to get to in just a little bit, because I do still prefer metals to crypto. But I did want to get on the bandwagon. I wanted to get in here and, make some money with this, get in the early stages before, 2030 and 2040 come and everybody's like, oh, we're too late. So with the crypto, a lot of people are asking me, like, what are you investing in? Which ones? Because there's so many. Like, let me get my phone real quick and I'll show you guys. Okay, so there are literally so many different tokens that you can get. You can get Bitcoin, you can get Ethereum, you can get Stellar Lumens, Chainlink, Dogecoin is a huge one right now that people are talking about. There's so many different ones, Polkadot, tons and tons of different ones. So my thing is, I want to be invested in things that are going to appreciate in value. I'm not so much all about the hype. And I will tell you guys, I'm just going to go ahead and tell y'all this on this YouTube channel, because the other day I had made a post on my Facebook. I do not own any Dogecoin. After that, I went and put $100 in it. Okay. I'm not putting any more money in Dogecoin, because I don't think that Dogecoin has a ton of potential to do a whole lot. Now, I could be totally wrong. Like I said, you guys go look up different people. However, Dogecoin is not that, like, literally they started this as a joke. It was a meme coin. They started it as a joke. The people that got in when it was fractions of a penny have made a ton of money. There is a guy on YouTube that bought Dogecoin at like fractions of a penny or something. I think he put like $100,000 and some into it, and he's now has over $1 million and refuses to cash it out because he wants to wait till it goes to 10 million. I think he's nuts. I don't know what he's smoking, but he's smoking something. I cannot even imagine risking $1 million on a meme coin that started as a joke, especially if I took out loans to buy that. I can't even imagine that. Like, I just don't even understand. I would never even put any money into crypto that I did not have, that I wasn't willing to lose if like something crazy happened and it went down. Like, you don't invest money that you don't have. You don't borrow money to invest money. You should be working on paying off your debt. You should be working on, making sure that you're taken care of. But when you're growing your money, that's why it's important to be diversified and have multiple different areas that you're invested in case something happens to one area. This dude literally put all of his money into Dogecoin. He took all his money out of the stock market. He took out his life savings. He took out, I think, some credit and stuff even, and like bought on leverage. I think he's nuts. I don't even know. Like, I can't even fathom doing that. That said, he has made a lot of money on Dogecoin because he kind of went out, on a whim and bought Doge. Doge is a hype coin. Like, it might have a little bit of a potential to do something, but I don't see it going like crazy high. If I'm wrong, I'll be the first one to say so. Don't not buy it, because I'm telling you that I'm not buying a lot of it, but it makes me a little nervous because of like the way that it started, because of its track record and all of that stuff. It's literally a hype coin. We are in the middle of a bull market with crypto. And I just think that it's kind of crazy that, like, let me just say it like this. If you're investing in crypto, don't be afraid to take some of your profits. Like, this is what I would do if I was in his situation. I would take out like $500,000 of that. If I was that convicted that Dogecoin was going to do really well, I would take out $500,000. I would pay back all of my debt. I would put, some of my money back in the stock market. I would have a nice little cushion of extra money, and then just leave the other $500K in there, right? Like, that's what I would do. So if that's kind of what your mindset is like, then listen to the rest of this video, because I'm going to tell you guys a bunch of different stuff. I just am not, I guess, a gambler. Like, yes, I'll try stuff here and there, but like, if I think it has a chance of making money, and since I bought Doge for $100, it has almost doubled. However, that said, it could get wiped out tomorrow. I don't know, but I'm okay with losing that $100 if it goes to crap. I'm not okay with putting $1 million into it. I'm not okay with putting my life savings into it. I want to be diversified, and I want to have some other things in my portfolio that I can fall back on if something happens to Doge. So that is my take on that. Take it or leave it. That's just my opinion. Like I said, I'm not a financial advisor, but it's just what I would do. Bitcoin is the front runner. It has been for years and years. It is now sitting at $57,287. I'm looking at my account right now. So if you would have bought a Bitcoin back in the day, you would have made a ton of money, right? Right now, the all-time high, I think, was like $65,000 or something like that. I buy the dips and I average into it. I don't ever just like throw a whole bunch of money in there. I'll wait until it dips. So like you can see, I'm going to just kind of show you guys that. Okay. So you can kind of see how it goes like up and down, up and down, up and down. If you're in the crypto space, you're probably somewhat familiar with it. When it goes down, I'll throw $100 at it, a couple $100, whatever. And then when it goes back up, I don't buy. What typically happens, and what I see people doing all the time, and I actually made this mistake when I was brand new, when I first started investing in it. This is why your education is so important, because you learn this stuff by watching videos like this one. You learn things that then you can go and apply to your investments, and you skip all of the risk, you skip all of the screw ups, you skip the mistakes that I made and that other people made, because you went out and educated yourself before you just FOMO'd into something. So what I did was, it went up to 65,000. And I started getting kind of like FOMO, where I was like, oh my gosh, like, you know, I think I need to get in. So as soon as it dropped to 62, I thought I was getting a deal, right? So I think I threw in like $300 or $400. Again, though, I didn't throw in a ton of money. I averaged my way in, and you can average your way out the same way. But I learned from that you got to kind of watch the trends. You've got to, you know, be smart about it. Buy low and sell high. Don't buy high and then freak out when you see the price dip and get out. If you're not okay with crazy volatility, crypto is not for you. I will tell you that right now. Like it is, I mean, it's stressful for me, even just like watching my portfolio. Like when I watch it go up, it's like you have all these thoughts of like, oh my gosh, should I sell it and take the profits, or should I leave it in there? What should I do with it? But you've got to have a mindset of long-term investing too. Because like when you put money into the stock market, think about it like this. When you put money into the stock market, you don't put money in there to try to take it out the next day. I mean, day traders, yeah, but they're also taking a ton of risk. They're getting hit with short-term capital gains taxes, and they're not giving it a chance. They're not really buying into things that they believe in. They're just buying into the hype and then selling it when it goes up. That's what's happening with Doge, in my opinion. Doge is a hype coin. Bitcoin is a lot more stable. It has been around for longer. It has got a lot better track record. It's worth a lot more. There's a finite amount of Bitcoin. They're only able to have 21 million, I think it is, of the Bitcoin. So in my opinion, if I was going to be investing in any one in particular, Bitcoin, hands down, would be the one that I would choose. However, Ethereum is a strong second. And I will tell you guys, I have about almost half of my crypto portfolio is Ethereum at this point. Half is Bitcoin, almost half is Ethereum. And then I have a few others that I'll also share with you guys on here, and just kind of show you, like, you know, the different ones that I have that I just have very small amounts invested in. But it's because I'm not planning on trading this tomorrow. Like I'm not trying to buy it at, you know, 50,000 and then go and sell it when it goes to 60, right? Like I want to wait till it goes to like $1 million. I want to wait until it goes up a lot. And, you know, even then I may not sell it. So you have to be wise about it. You have to be willing to invest for the long term. You have to be kind of strong-willed, because I mean, it's definitely a roller coaster. You're going to have a lot of ups and downs and a lot of volatility if you're getting involved in crypto. That said, I kind of feel like if you're not in crypto, you're kind of missing the boat. Like there's a lot of money to be made in crypto. And I feel like I said, this is one of the best opportunities to increase your money and increase your wealth that you have. You just have to be willing to set that money and forget it. So some of the other coins that I have, I'll go ahead and tell you guys those. I'll tell you what I got. Okay, so I have Bitcoin, like I said, is about half of my portfolio. Ethereum is probably like 45% of my portfolio. And then I also have some Etherium Classic, which y'all, if you bought ETH Classic when I said, like literally 2 days ago, you literally tripled your money. Congratulations. That is like insane. So I bought when it was like $50. Y'all, it is literally up. Like, let's see. Okay, what is it up to right now? It was up to like $150, I think. So right now, okay, so it went up to 150. Right now it's sitting at 117. So it's going to fluctuate a lot. It'll probably be back up to 125. Then it'll probably be back down to 115. Then it'll go to 140. It's going to keep going up and down. So you just can't freak out when it does that. Ethereum Classic was a really good one to get in on. Another one that I have that has done pretty well is Stellar Lumens. It hasn't done as much, but it has done pretty well. It's definitely grown more than it would grow anywhere else. I also have Cardano, I have Compound, and then I do have a little bit of Polkadot. And like I said, I put $100 in Dogecoin. So that is what I have. I will link those in the description below just in case that you guys didn't catch that, or you can go back and just re-listen to this and take notes, write down, what they are. Again, like I said, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not telling you that these are the ones that are going to take off, but from what I've seen, I much prefer, instead of getting in on something because of the hype, I prefer to get in on something that I believe in, that I feel like has a lot of potential in the long term, and just steadily investing in that in the long term. In my opinion, that's the smart way to do it. Some other people, I know people that make a lot of money buying these little cheap junk tokens and then selling them when they go to the moon. That's fine, but there's also a lot of people that get really, really burned when they do that. So just be careful and just know what you're doing. Like I said, educate yourself. Be interested in what your investments are. That said, I wanted to share a couple of things with you guys. And like I said, I'll link these in the description also. I have multiple different crypto platforms. So, because number one, I don't really feel good about storing all of my crypto in one space, but also, I don't know about y'all, but I love free stuff. Like, if I'm going to be able to get some kind of like a free something for signing up for an account, I do that like every single time. So I'm going to link all of those in the description below that I use. One of them you can get $10 in free crypto on for signing up and depositing $100. One of them, if you sign up and deposit $100, you get $25 in free crypto. There's another one where I actually hold some of my crypto where you can earn it's up to 8.6% interest on your crypto, and you can actually get that paid out either in US dollars or in the crypto that you deposited. So like if you put in Bitcoin, you're going to get like 6.5% interest on that, and it's compounding. It is awesome. Like literally, it is a really, really good passive income stream. And if you don't have multiple streams of passive income, that's another thing that I'm going to talk about here in just a little bit, because that's really, really important. But that's another good way that you can make money on your money, right? Like not only is your crypto growing, but you're earning interest on it for keeping it on this account. That said, I don't keep all of my crypto on there, but I did just want to share that with you guys because you can get, tons of free stuff by doing that. Another one that I will link down below is a little more related to the stocks, like to stock market stuff, but you can actually trade crypto on it as well. It's called Webull. And so I will link that in the description too. If you sign up for an account through that link and deposit $100 in there, that you can either trade for stocks or crypto or both. You can use it for either one that you want to. They now offer crypto trading. Then you can get 2 free stocks worth up to $1,800. So super cool. Another really good way to get some free stuff. I actually got some really cool free stocks. I'll tell you guys what I got. Let's see. I was going to tell you guys what my free stocks were, so you could kind of see like what you can get. Like I said, they're worth up to $1,800. You may not get $1,800. I didn't, but I got one for $8.79. I got 3 for $9.46, one for $11.12, one for $48.89. And you guys, like, since I have gotten these stocks, they've grown. Like the $48.89 one is now up to like almost $65 for that one stock. So you can get some really cool free stocks on there. So just FYI. That brings me on to stocks. So for the stocks, I don't really care so much for individual stock trading a lot, but there are a few that I am pretty interested in. Like I think Tesla's pretty cool because it's just very innovative. Like, again, I would not buy at the all-time high. I'm trying to look at my account right now and see what Tesla is. Hold on. Okay. So Tesla right now is at 658.41. So honestly, it would probably be a pretty good time to buy some Tesla, because at the high, it was like, I don't even know, I think it was like $750 or something. So if you were going to buy Tesla, now would probably be a pretty good time to do that. You can do that on the Webull app. And then you can, you can trade them. So a lot of people have been asking me, like, what do you do with it once you buy it? Well, like I said, I invest for the long term. I'm not investing money to try to turn around and flip it the next day, because a lot of people get really burned like that. I can't say that enough times. A lot of people get really, really burned by doing that. Not only are they getting hit with those short-term capital gains taxes, but it's probably not going to go up as much as you would think. And you might make a little bit of money, but you might look back years from now and be like, why the heck did I do that? Like, why did I sell that? It might be worth so much more. And if you're just in it just to trade it, and you're not buying into things that you genuinely believe have the potential to move forward, I think, you've got a lot more potential for getting really burned. So not my cup of tea, but you can definitely do that on there. I prefer index funds where you can just put money in there. There are a couple of different ones that you guys can write down. There's one, it's not a particular index fund, but brokerage that you can use. You can either use like Vanguard or Fidelity. I'm not like an affiliate for either of those or anything. You just go on there and you can look and see all of the stocks that they have, all of the mutual funds and ETFs and all of that stuff. VT Sachs is a really good one on Vanguard. That's a really good index fund that you can get. And basically what that is for those of you guys that don't know, because I know there are a lot of people that just literally have no idea how the stock market works. When you buy a stock, you're basically investing into a company. So for instance, if I want to buy a share of stock from Tesla, I'm literally buying into Tesla and I'm putting my money in that company saying, I think this company is going to do really well. And I'm putting my money there because why? Because it's going to grow. That's the only reason that I would ever invest my money into a stock, is if I think it's going to grow. Now, you could be wrong if you're picking individual stocks. It might, the company might go under. It might completely go out of business or whatever, but it could go to the moon. And if you're picking the right stocks and you're picking them for the right reasons and you're doing your research on it, then you're going to have a lot better odds of winning with that. But if I put money into Tesla, I am basically buying a share of that company. When you have a mutual fund, you have all of these different shares of all these different companies, and it's typically like the biggest ones. Like I like to, do a lot of like index stuff with the S&P 500. So those types of stocks, you're going to have like Amazon and Facebook and Tesla and Microsoft and a lot of the like bigger stocks. So if something happens, like with Microsoft, I don't know if y'all saw what happened with all that, but there's so much crazy stuff going on right now. If something happens with one of those businesses, you have all of these other businesses, like literally 500 of them, that can help lift that portfolio and keep it from just tanking out, right? Because nobody likes to watch it, just tank out. Like if you've got $50,000 invested in a mutual fund, you don't like to see it go to, $30,000. That is like, makes your stomach go up in your throat or something. You don't like that feeling, but that's why you have to leave it invested for the long term, because if you're just putting it in there, and especially if you're buying when it's high, and then you're freaking out and selling out when it goes low, you are going to lose so much money. You've got to learn how to put money in when stuff is low, take it out when it's high, if you're going to take it out, or either just leave it in there and let it keep growing. So that's just kind of my opinion on that. But I don't do a ton of like individual stock trading, but anytime that I can get some free stuff, I'm all about it. So I did set up an account and I did do a few like single individual stocks on there, just to kind of see how they do. And I did it with companies that I actually like companies that I think have the potential to grow, that I actually like, that I feel good investing my money into. Otherwise, I wouldn't be putting my money into it. And then you can get some free stocks back from that as well. All of this said, there is some crazy stuff going on right now. Nobody knows what's going to happen. You've got some people that are telling you that you should invest all of your money in the stock market. You guys, like, y'all would literally, like, if you saw how many videos I watch and how many books I read on this stuff, like, you would know why I think the way I think. But I listen to every different person's opinion that I listen to, and they're all very influential people, right? So Dave Ramsey, most of you guys have heard of Dave Ramsey, right? He thinks crypto is nuts. Like, he will tell you, like, he literally told a guy. So there was a guy that called in. I don't remember when it was. I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago, called in, and the dude's like, I've got $100,000 worth of Bitcoin, and I think he only put in like $100 or something. It was something crazy like that. And he said, should I keep that or should I cash it out? And Ramsey's literally over here like tearing this guy a new one, like, sell it. Bitcoin's funny money, blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you guys, I don't know what the dude did. I don't know if he sold it. I don't know if he kept it. I don't know. But if he sold it, I guarantee you he feels like he wants to throw up right now, because he just watched what happened with the price of Bitcoin. And instead of telling him, you know, you could keep a little bit in there and you could, you know, maybe take out like your initial investment, or you could take out, you know, $20,000 and leave 80,000 in case it does anything, do that. Instead of telling him that, he told him to take it all out and put it all in the stock market. Now, listen, mutual funds have been proven for a long time to make people a lot of money over time. Time is your friend. The sooner you get started with this stuff, the better off you're going to be. I've actually got my kids setting up some different little funds and stuff for them, because the sooner that they start, the better off they're going to be, the more money that they can make in the long term, because time is literally what compounds all of that interest and makes people so much money. There's a lot of people that made a lot of money in the stock market. What happens if we wake up in the morning and the stock market crashes and everything goes down and you have nothing else to back yourself up? This is why I'm a big fan of diversification. If you have only crypto, I also know a lot of people like the dude that's got all that money in Dogecoin. I'm like, dude is insane. Like, why does he not take some of that money out? $1 million sitting there in Dogecoin? I don't think so. So, like, for my opinion, if I had that much money sitting in that, I would want to take some of that out, put some of it in the stock market, buy some real estate if you want to, buy some commodities. But let me tell you guys, one of my favorite things, and why it's one of my favorite things. It's not going to like grow your money exponentially. It's not going to be like crypto where you're going to be able to make really fast money, but it's going to be the insurance policy that you need in case things hit the fan and in case things go sideways. And that is precious metals. And I've been talking about this for a pretty good while. And again, I don't recommend putting all of your money into this. This is why I say diversify. But a lot of people are asking me about precious metals, like why gold and silver? Like, why would you even buy that? And how do you buy it? What do you buy? Because there's so many different things. They've got, ETFs and like all kinds of, weird stuff going on with gold and silver that's not actually gold and silver. But here's the thing. We talked about inflation, right? The value of your dollar is dropping every single day. And with Biden in the White House, y'all, he's printing a lot of money. He's printing, I don't even remember what the percentage was, but I think it's like something like 30% of the money ever printed was printed like in the last year or two. Something insane. He's up there just print, give out all this stimulus money and keep all these people on unemployment. Don't send people back to work. We need, all this universal basic income, all this bull crap. And he's sitting up here printing money and people are excited about it. I literally don't understand. People are excited about it because they think they're getting free money. Well, let me tell you, if you're watching this and you think you just got a free check, you got another thing coming because you're going to be paying that back plus a lot more. I don't care what tax bracket you're in. You will be paying that money back. And the reason that people are paying that money back is because of inflation. Look at the cost. Look at what lumber is doing. Do you guys know how expensive wood is right now? Like, dude, we can't even do our little board fence out front because I can't even stomach spending $1,000 on a little stretch of board fence when just like 6 months ago, it was half that. Look at what is happening with the goods that you're going out and buying. Look what's happened with toilet paper. Look what's happening with your food prices. Look what's happening at the gas pump. You're paying it back. It's not free money. It drives me nuts when people say that because it's coming from somewhere and, their plan is tax people that make a lot of money. Just tax the rich, tax the rich, tax the rich. What they don't realize, and I'm not trying to make this too political, but I guess I am. What they don't realize is that rich people create jobs. Rich people bring that revenue into certain areas. And when they start getting the crap taxed out of them and they're trying to tax them at 50, 60%, see ya, I'm out of here. They don't want to stay anymore. That's why all these people are leaving from California and all these other like crazy states that are trying to overtax people just because they're doing well, and give it to people and tell them, hey, don't go back to work. You guys, there are jobs out there. People are acting like there's no jobs. There are jobs. People just don't want to go back to work. So you have to figure all this stuff in. With inflation, you're gonna have a toll taken on your dollars. I'm just telling you. Precious metals protects you from that. Precious metals have been money since the beginning of time. Robert Kiyosaki calls it God's money. Gold and silver. What does he call it? Plato y oro or something, like gold and silver. I think that's how you say it in Spanish or something. So those have been money since the Bible days. You didn't hear people talking about a lot of this other stuff back then, but gold and silver, God put a certain amount of it here on this planet, and the only amount that was here, that's what we got, and it's what's going to be here when we're gone. And it's always been considered money because there's a finite amount of it. Silver is industrial, so they use silver to build things like solar panels and electronics and Teslas and all this other stuff. They need silver. Silver is very undervalued right now compared to gold. If you look at the ratio of what gold and silver should be to each other, it's insane how far apart they are right now, which makes silver an exceptionally good deal right now. And when they start running out of silver, I'm expecting the price of that to go up a lot. Gold and silver have been money since the beginning of time. American dollars are not money. It's a fiat currency. It is a currency. What a currency does is basically allows you to trade with somebody else for something else. Like they'll trade you $1 for a loaf of bread. They'll trade you, oh, not $1, but you know what I mean? They'll trade you dollar bills for a gallon of gas, or, you know, whatever it is that you want. It's a currency that people use. It's the same as with like the pesos, the yuan, the euro, all of these different currencies that different countries have. America's dollar, America's dollar is the predominant currency. However, when you look back over history, every single fiat currency throughout history has failed at some point in time. Every single time. Go back and research it. Don't believe me for it. Go get your education and learn about this stuff, because as it collapses and as they keep printing more and more and more and more, and they can't hold things up anymore, when you have gold and silver that help protect you from the inflation, you're going to be thanking me later. Gold and silver it's literally just like insurance against inflation is what it is. And the value of it, if you look again, over time has consistently gone up. Now, that said, gold and silver is also volatile. You're going to see it do like this, just like the stock market, just like cryptocurrency. It's not going to be sitting in a bank account somewhere where you're looking at the number and it goes up, 5 cents a week or whatever. It's not a savings account. It's a commodity, and it's going to go up and down. It's going to fluctuate. It's going to fluctuate with the markets and with whatever's happening in the economy and what's happening with fear and everything else. But when you have that, it is always in an uptrend. So if you look back, I challenge you guys to go on Google and look up on Google the price of silver back in whatever year, 1988, because that's the year I was born. I keep using that year. Go back and look up the price of silver in 1998, the price of gold in 1988. And you'll see that the price of gold from then to now is insanely different. If you would have taken that money and put it in a jar, your currency, your fiat dollars, if you would have put that in a jar and you buried that under the ground and left it sit there for all these years, it would buy way less stuff today. But if you would have taken that money and you would have bought gold with it right away, immediately, back in 1988, you took that money that you had and you bought gold with it, you took the gold and buried that in a jar under the ground and dug it up today, you'd be able to buy far more stuff. You'd probably be able to buy more stuff than what you could buy back in 1988 with the fiat dollars that you had. That is how gold and silver protects you against inflation. So I believe that it's in everybody's best interest to have some. A lot of people ask me what I do, like, do you do ETFs? What kind of gold and silver do you buy? Where do you get it from? Yada, yada. Y'all, this sweatshirt is so old. I'm telling y'all, it's probably like as old as me. That's why I keep looking at this neckline and it's literally sidetracking me. But it's okay. So what I personally do is I don't know, I'm kind of a little bit of a stacker. Like, I think it's cool to have like different bars and rounds and stuff like that. Basically, when you go to look at gold and silver, if you have never looked at this stuff before and you're just a total newbie, you're going to see that there are coins from different countries, there are rounds, and there are bars. Basically, the coins are like a sovereign minted coin. So it's going to be minted by a government. So like if you are buying an American silver eagle or an American gold eagle, those are minted by the United States government. So those coins have an actual intrinsic value on them. And it is also, I believe, a felony to go in there and like melt those down or anything like that. Like, you can't do stuff like that with a sovereign minted coin. You're also going to see rounds, which a lot of times people mistake for coins, but they are very similar to bars in that they're not an actual coin. The only value that they have is the bullion value, which is like the value of the weight of the metal. So like, let's say for instance, the spot price of silver, I don't even know what it is right now. It's probably like $27. Let's say it's $27. So if it's around $27 for a spot price of silver, you're going to pay more for the coin for the American eagle, but also people recognize those eagles. Like, that's probably the most purchased gold and silver coin that there is. People recognize those. It's going to be worth more when you go to trade it out. It's going to be worth more. So you're going to pay a little bit more of a premium on that. So like if you buy a silver one and the price of the spot price of silver is $27, you might pay like $34 or $35, especially in times like right now when things are kind of uncertain and it's very hard to get a hold of that stuff. You might pay like, $25 for, or not $25, I'm sorry, $35 for that silver eagle. So part of that is going to be a premium. For the bars and the rounds, you're going to pay less of a premium, but you're not going to get as much of a premium either when you go to sell it, if you decide that you want to sell it down the road. I think it's fine to have any of that stuff. I think the gold and silver eagles are probably the best investment, but I think it's really cool. Like, it just makes me feel like a pirate or something, just being able to kind of look through things and just see like, the eagles and the Krugerrands, which are from South Africa, or like, different bars. Like, you guys probably saw where I bought a bunch of like Trump coins a while back. Y'all know I'm a big Trump supporter. Y'all don't be hating because Trump's the man. He's coming back, I'm telling you. But anyway, so I bought a bunch of Trump coins and stuff also, just because I think that's kind of cool. And so for me, it was worth it to buy. However, I don't mess with the ETFs a lot because to me, that's almost as bad as like paper money. Like, they're basically saying we have this much gold and silver, but they're printing it on paper so they can sell more of the ETFs, but they don't have enough actual gold and silver to be able to cover that. So I don't like the ETFs. I stay away from those. I like the physical coins. You can put them in a safe deposit box if you want to. Just put them like somewhere that's safe, where somebody's not going to be like trying to come to your house or anything like that and get them. But, and like I said, you don't have to have a ton of that stuff, but I feel like if you don't have any, it's almost irresponsible. Almost in the way of not having cash, because that's going to be like your insurance against the inflation that is coming. I'm telling you guys, it's inevitable. It's already here. It's already here. You can look around at what's happening and see that it's already here. So it's crazy. So I feel like that is most of the things. I'm hoping that I answered a lot of the questions. I'll put the affiliate links in the comment below. If you guys sign up through any of these affiliate links, I do just tell people, like, look, I'm not trying to hide anything. If you sign up through one of these links, I might get a small commission from that. That said, you're also going to get a benefit from using my link. I never post links for things that I don't use or that don't benefit me or that don't benefit other people. So when you go on there to sign up for the link, you're going to get either $10 in free crypto, $25 in free crypto. You're going to get free silver if you use the company we use. We actually use a company called Money Metals. And the reason that I use them, you guys, is because they're family owned. They have the best inventory that I've seen. When everybody else is like sold out of stuff, for some reason, they tend to keep stuff in stock. They ship it fairly quickly. Right now, things are kind of slower with the way that things are going, and it's just harder to get. But they're a really good company to work with. They have really great customer service, and you can get a free 1/2 ounce of silver on your first order if you tell them that I sent you. So if you just call in there and say, hey, Rebecca Scott sent me, and you do have to say Rebecca, I guess, because I think that's how they have my name on file, but they will give you a 1/2 ounce of silver with me as the referral. So I like to just tell people, like, hey, I'm sharing all the information with you guys. It helps me out. It helps you out. I don't want anybody to feel like that they go to click on any of these links and then they're like, oh my gosh, why does she get like a commission off of this? I'm not making anything off of your money that you're putting in. It's just a way for you to get some free stuff. And then, oh, I almost forgot. Okay, you guys, this is one of the biggest things. The passive income side of things, I got to tell you guys, if you're not creating other streams of passive income in times like this, it's insane. All of this stuff that I'm telling you guys, when you go to these accounts and you go start investing in crypto, or you go start investing in metals or whatever, you can also refer other people and earn passive income by doing that. It's really, really cool. And it's a good way that you can work from home, make the extra income. And, if some of you guys that have been messaging me that are all up in my inbox freaking out because your boss is giving you crap about not taking the vaccine, it's a great way for you to tell your boss to stick it if you get in on this stuff and just figure out different ways to make passive income from home. Like if you're earning an income through crypto, or if you're going out and doing some affiliate marketing or whatever it is that you have to do to take care of your family, and you go out and start making an extra income for yourself, you can eventually go tell your boss to stick it. So I did just want to throw that in there. A lot of these things that I'm going to share in the comments below are affiliate marketing links. And so some of them are not, by the way. Like my heart is that I want to share with you guys everything that I know. I want to share with you guys how you can avoid the mistakes that I've made, how you can make your future better. And I just want to help people. But if I can help you in the way of getting some freebies and showing you how to make some extra money along the way, why would I not do that? It's insane. So make sure you guys check out the links in the comments. A lot of them are not affiliate links. I'm going to be sharing some different books that I have been reading and stuff like that too. And they're not like affiliate links or anything like that, but you can just go check them out for yourself. Do your research, get educated, learn about what you're investing in, and just get on the train of investing. Because if you're just saving your money, you're eventually going to be losing a lot more than you're saving. So I hope this helps you guys. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below, and maybe I'll try to do another video to just kind of answer questions. Or maybe even if we kind of blow this up, maybe I can even do like a live stream or something. Who knows? If my internet will allow it, which maybe it won't. So I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, you guys have a good afternoon. I hope this helps. I love you guys. And yeah, I think that's it. Hope this helps.